Hi, I'm Vickie Eisenstein with IdeateTV, and I'm at LA Comic Con with Arielle from the Pretty Cult. Now, why don't you tell me a little bit about the Pretty Cult and all of this cool tarot-inspired art that you have here?
Well, the Pretty Cult is basically a lifestyle brand for the rock and roll witch. I'm really inspired by witchcraft, the occult, and rock and roll. So everything in my brand is driven from those loves and passions in my life.
Who's your favorite band?
Oh, that question. The first one, I'm just going to go with the first one that comes to mind, and the first one is Black Sabbath.
Nice. Very fitting for the brand, too. Now, what inspired you to actually start a business?
I had a day job working in music, and I was always doing this on the side for fun. Ever since I was a little girl, I was sewing, making things, trying to sell them. I love working with my hands. And eventually, when I got sick of my day job, I decided I was going to try and do this full time, and I have never gone back since.
That's so cool. Now, how did you get into like witchcraft and the occult and like all this really interesting esoteric stuff?
Well, I grew up in a really religious home, so witchcraft was very off limits. And as I grew up, I've always been fascinated by all religions. And I feel like in college, I took a religion class, and we actually had a practicing witch and coven come and do different rituals in, and that kind of like sparked, like the interest was always there, but I was like, wow, this is like not as scary as I've always thought it was. And from there it just kind of like grew naturally, and I always gravitated towards the dark stuff, and the music that I listened to, the imagery, the artists that I personally love and have artwork in my house. So from there it just grew, and then I just have this like need to always be reading books about witchcraft and tarot. Tarot is my main practice, and I've been really studying tarot for 2 years and just trying to get and learn as much as I can about it.
Now, you designed your own deck even, right?
Yeah, I have about 8 cards right now. So when I started my brand, I sold the Rider-Waite Tarot deck, which is the tarot that most people know. But I always wanted to create my own, but I was really uncomfortable until I really understood every element that's in every single card. And once I felt comfortable with that, I was like, okay, now is the time. So I created 8 cards. I dropped them all at Oddity Flea in Los Angeles last weekend. And I hope to add more as I go and as I feel inspired, and whatever cards, people at events like this, I like to know what other tarot cards people are into. And today, for example, I've been asked for the Fool, the Sun, and the Lovers. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe those are the next ones I need to add.
Now, what is your favorite tarot card?
Oh, it's a hard one. Tarot for me, it just really depends on the day. Right now, I'm resonating with a lot of minor arcana whenever I do readings for myself, but the last reading I did, I got the High Priestess. So where I am in life, I feel like that is somewhat fitting right now. So I'm going to go with the High Priestess.
That's awesome. So if people want to check out what you're selling or learn more about you and your store and everything, where should they go?
I'm online on Instagram. Everything is theprettycult.com, or on Instagram it's just at theprettycult, all one word.
Well, thank you so much for letting me interview you. I've been Vickie Eisenstein with IdeateTV. Make sure that you smash that like button and you hit subscribe for more interviews.